You can be the most qualified person in the room and still not get the offer. Sometimes it comes down to charisma and executive presence. If you ramble, if you get nervous, if you forget what you're saying, all those things will count against you. Here today, I want to talk to you about how to increase your charisma and how to increase your executive presence during interviews. Let's get into it. Most people focus on what you have to say during interviews, which is really important. Your stories are really important, but the way you deliver your stories are also really important. Our brain processes tone, vocal tone, and body language way faster than words, and we remember how people speak and how they show up, their energy, a lot more than what people said often. Charisma essentially equals competence plus warmth. So you want to have an equal balance of both. You want to come across as competent and you want to come across as warm. And that's true for what interviewers are looking for anyway when they're interviewing you. They may not realize it consciously, but really what they're looking for is, can I work with this person and do they know what they're talking about? So charisma is a combination of those two things. That's kind of the formula. There's a couple things you can do to increase your charisma. You don't have to be extroverted, you don't have to be a natural or any of that. You can do a couple of things that will automatically increase your executive presence and your charisma. The number one thing that I'm going to share that you should do starting today in interviews is using your hands. As if you've noticed, I've already started doing that. You want to show your hands during virtual interviews and during real interviews, and really anytime you present. You want to use your hands. Our brains are looking for the speaker's hands when they are speaking. If you look at TED Talks, if you look at people who are really great speakers, they all use their hands. Now, you don't want to use jazz hands or anything too distracting, obviously, but just natural hand movements increase your executive presence. Great speakers do this. Our brains are wired for it, and it builds trust subconsciously in the listener. So don't go overboard, but just make sure your hands are visible on video. So position your camera and your video so your hands are always visible. I like to have my hands visible even when I'm just listening to the speaker because, again, it's helpful for the speaker and for the person on the other end to build trust. The other thing is eye contact. This one can be a little bit harder on video because you want to be looking at the screen. I think it's fine to go between the screen and the camera, but you want to mostly be looking straight forward at the screen and at the camera and mimic eye contact. It's really, really important. Your body orientation should be forward also, and it should be essentially like my video. You should have shoulders, your shoulders should be visible. You shouldn't have the video too high or too low or at an angle so it looks like or it feels like we're looking up or down at you. You want to just be at eye level and ideally an arm's length away from the camera. So you can test this. This is also really helpful for building entering into people's social space. So if you're really, really close to the camera, it seems like you're entering into someone's space really quickly. If you're really far away, it seems like you're really far away, which is not helpful for a video interview and for building trust. But the ideal length is about your arm's length, about 18 inches or so. So test that when you're in an interview, when you're getting set up for interviews, virtual interviews. The last thing is vocal tone. Now, my vocal tone is all wonky because I have a cold or again I'm getting over a cold, so it's a little bit lower already. But you want to speak on the lower end of your vocal tone. For most people, this comes naturally, but you want to make sure that you're not doing upspeak, which means you're asking, you're doing an intonation upwards at the end of your sentences because it sounds like you're asking questions. So make sure you are making statements, not asking questions in your vocal tone. If it's possible for you to go a little bit lower in your vocal tone, if you feel like you have ability to do that and consciously, then do that. That's always helpful. And obviously stay natural. Don't do anything too outside of your comfort zone because that will feel uncomfortable and also awkward. But it is always helpful to have inflections go down at the end of sentences and just speak at the lower end of your vocal range so you sound more competent and so you don't sound like you're not sure what you're talking about when you're speaking up at the end of sentences. So the big takeaway is charisma is actually learnable. You can learn how to be more charismatic and how to exude more executive presence. It just takes practice. It just takes small adjustments to how you present and how you deliver your answers. It's super important to know what to say, but it's also super important to know how to deliver what you're saying in your answers. And there's another whole video I'm going to do about signposting, which is also really helpful, where you use your hands not just to gesture, but also to actually signal that you're about to talk about three things, for example. So stay tuned for that. But just overall, just know that using your hands probably is the easiest one you can implement starting today. Do it in work meetings to practice, do it in interviews, do it when you're presenting in front of a group of people. It's really, really helpful. And it just automatically levels up your executive presence, it levels up your charisma. And this is all research backed. So you can Google this and look it up. It's all based on research. Speakers do this all the time, and there's a reason they do it. And there's a reason that really good speakers uh, are doing these things at every single time they present. So the same tricks work all the time. Just start doing it so until it feels natural. And so when you're in interviews, it comes across like you have executive presence, you have competence, and you have warmth, and those two combined make you charismatic. Save this video for your next interview. If you want more job search tips, let me know in the comments. You can also join my job search community, which is called Job Search OS. It is a community for folks in tech who are currently job searching. There's a ton of content in there around how to set up a systematic job search to get you more interviews and offers a lot faster. I had someone just land an offer within 6 weeks in this really challenging market. So it is possible. You just have to be strategic, and you just have to know what levers to pull to move the process forward. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you inside.